Hey y'all, if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Maudie, and today I'm going to share a little bit about how I do laundry for my large family. Now, most of the content you'll find on my channel is mainly food related, which grocery hauls, pantry tours, budgeting, buying a large amount of food on a pretty thin budget, those type of things. But I also have some homemaking, homesteading, and homeschooling tossed in the mix too. So today, this is going to be one of those homemaking type videos. So if that's not your thing, completely understandable. I'm working on putting all my videos in playlists where you can just look at the playlist section of my page and find the type of videos that you want, click on it, and watch whatever you want to watch. But without further ado, I'm going to just hop right into this video and explain to you guys how I do my laundry. So I've had several people ask me about my laundry and system, so that's why I'm making this video. As you've seen in my grocery hauls, I love OxyClean, and I'm not a crunchy mama per se. I'm not a run to the doctor every time somebody gets a sniffle mama either, but I definitely use products in my home that really clean, and I say clean as in not cleanliness, but clean people who prefer not to use chemicals. They probably wouldn't use. If I need to sanitize something, I still will use bleach or stuff like that if it's really bad. So my laundry's no different. I've tried over the years to use natural laundry methods, and I've made my own laundry soap several times. I buy an old school washer, and I try my best to make that washer last as long as I can. I get it repaired. I have a repair guy that I use locally. And finally, he was like, you've got to stop using this homemade laundry soap. I've used different formulations, but he's like, it is killing your pipes. So we just stopped doing that, and I went back to traditional laundry soap, and I found a method that I loved, and I stuck with it. And we're a large household. There's 9 of us here, and we do have 9 children, but 2 are married and on their own, and they have their own families. And my girls also do this same thing with their laundry. So I'm going to tell you just a little bit about what I do, what I use, what I love. But one thing I want to touch on before we head over to my laundry room, and don't judge my laundry room. It's a mess and it's old and dingy, but it does what it needs to do. It gets the job done. It's not aesthetically pleasing, but it's definitely practical. So I have a laundry schedule. Mondays, all the bedding gets stripped bright and early. We strip the beds. I start washing sheets, blankets, etc. My comforter, I have a queen size bed, so my comforter gets washed every other week unless it needs to be washed before then for some reason. But I can usually go 2 weeks and not wash it. But the sheets, pillowcases, all that stuff, every single Monday. My kids that sleep with stuffed animals, I also wash those on Mondays unless they need it before then. So all that gets done on Mondays along with my towels. And I'm also not one of those that hangs my towel up after we use it. After we use the towel, it goes into the dirty towel bin, and it is set to be washed the next time the towels are washed. Some people don't do that, and that's okay. No judgment on anyone who does it a different way. I'm just sharing what I do and what works for my family. Also, I'm a little weird, and I know it. I'm kind of just owning it now at 44 years old. I'm just owning my weirdness. But I also have a daughter that's this way. So if I wash clothes and they don't get put up and they sit in the basket a couple of days, those clothes are going back in the washer, back in the dryer, and then I'll put them up. I just feel like they're not clean if they sit for days on end in a basket. So the nemesis of laundry with me was putting the clothes away. I really just did not enjoy it, but I did it because I like things to be done a certain way, so I would do it. Sometimes it just took a long time for me to get to it because I have so many other irons in the fire, so to speak. So I've delegated this task of putting away the laundry to my 2 daughters who are 15 and 10. They do that for me. They put the laundry away. They're learning how to properly put away clothes because we have stuff that hangs and stuff that folds. They know where everything goes. And their brothers sometimes help them. And once the girls have perfected this chore, once it's time to swap chores, or jobs as we call them here at our house, this chore will go down to the boys. And then my daughters can help if they need help. just kind of like the boys do. Now, I usually fold my husband's laundry. It's washed separate. His work clothes are washed separate from our regular clothes. I'll normally do that, and I fold my own laundry. I hang my own laundry if I get time, and if I see that I'm not going to have time, my girls do it. I don't have a lot of clothes. As you can see on my videos, I typically wear the same thing over and over. So my kids do that for me, and they put the laundry up, and I really appreciate it. Like, it's very helpful, and I'm glad that they do that, and they don't grumble and gripe about it. That's one of their jobs here, and we all just work together to make everything work. As they say, many hands make light work, and we really go by that here in our home. So I guess the next thing to do would be show you guys my laundry room, and I will go over the things I use in my laundry room and how I've used it and how long I've used it. And if you guys have any questions, of course, head on over to the community tab and we can talk about it, or you can just drop it in the comments. So let's go to my laundry room. Remember, no judgment, and no judgment from me. But my laundry room's a little scary looking, but we're going to head over there now, and I will show you guys what it looks like and what I use. Let's go. Okay, so I'm in my tiny laundry room. The lighting is not the best, and this place is probably the dingiest place in my house, y'all. But I want to show you what I do. So here's my washer, and this is old school. It is an old GE, and it's just is old with an agitator, but you know what? It works really well, works really good, and it does a great job of cleaning our clothes, and it's pretty gentle. I have my old refrigerator. This thing looks terrible, but it's our spare refrigerator. It's jammed in here, and then I have a shelf over here where I've got some storage stuff. And if you notice all these boxes, so this is a side note and a little trick that I do, because of course I'm not always the one cooking, but I keep boxes for the things that I put in the freezer. If I think about it, I'll just cut out the instructions, but sometimes I'll just toss the box or have the kids just throw the box over. So a lot of the things you buy in bulk at Sam's, they're not going to be marked with instructions except on the box as far as how to cook them. So we just put the box to the side, and when we pull out that item to cook it, we can just grab the box and look at the instructions for cooking it. But the best way to do it is just cut that little strip of instructions out off the back and just save those. But normally I just toss the box to the side, and when we're done with that item, we throw the box away. So let me tell you what I use. And this is my saving grace in all my laundry, is OxiClean. I use this, the purple kind. There's a couple of different formulations, but I prefer this kind. Now, I was buying these tubs at Walmart, and I was paying like maybe about $12 or so for these tubs at Walmart. I noticed that my Sam's started carrying this, which is actually this is 11 pounds, where this is 5 pounds. I'm paying $17 for 11 pounds, where I was paying $12 for 5 pounds. Now, this is where Sam's is definitely a better bargain. I was going through two of these a month. So once Sam started carrying the purple one that I use, I bought it. And I was so glad I did, because now I can fill these up. I keep 2 of these tubs on hand. I fill them up, and they're filled up to the brim, up to the very top. I normally have to do a load of laundry because there's actually like a scoop and a half over left out that won't fit in between the 2 tubs. So I shove these full, and I use these. I use this OxiClean in a lot of different ways. Typically, when I'm doing my laundry, I turn on my washer, and I put a scoop of OxiClean or a half a scoop, however big the load is. I'll put a scoop or half a scoop in the bottom of the washing machine. I use this Arm & Hammer plus OxiClean, and this is nasty, but I've got a new thing here down at the bottom, but this is the kind that I use, and I do use the original Tide as well sometimes, but normally I just buy this. This is about $15. It's a pretty good bargain. And so I'll squirt some of that in the bottom, and I go between Snuggle and this, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but this particular fabric softener, and I just pour a cap full and put it in my laundry, my fabric softener dispenser. And scent beads, I got these at Sam's for $15, and this was a really good deal. And or I can buy these, which is our preferred scent, at Walmart, but this is $15. Since I'm looking for a value, I get this. That's what I got this last time. And again, my husband prefers these. He likes it. So since he likes it, that's what I'm doing. I'm not sure my mic's on. It is. Okay. And then I use Shout. And I do use dryer sheets. Usually these Downy Infusions, I like. There's a couple of different scents, but I'm currently using this one right now. And I use good old bleach in my towels. And I bought this at the Dollar Tree. It was $1.50. I normally buy Walmart's brand, the Great Value, and I'll buy the kind that's a little thicker so it doesn't splash. But that's what I do. So we have a lot of stains at times. So I have a trick, and this is what really sold me on the OxyClean. And sometimes I also use vinegar too. I'll use vinegar instead of fabric softener. I'll do that, and I try to also keep my washer, the inside of it, the drum clean, and I'll run vinegar through it, or I will just throw Tide sells these washer cleaners, and I'll throw those in there too occasionally. But what really sold me on OxyClean is sometimes we have some bad stains here. So one day, I don't even remember what it was, but this has been years ago, there was something that we just could not get it out. And I want to say we had kittens. I want to say one of the cats like peed. I think it was like one of the cats peed on something. This was years and years ago. It was like a blanket or something. I was like, oh, man, I washed it. It didn't come out. Washed it again. Didn't come out. I soaked it. Washed it. Didn't come out. My cousin was like, hey, go get you some OxyClean. Try OxyClean and it will work. I was like, okay, I've never even heard of that. But I went to Walmart, got this purple OxyClean, and I already had this Shout. I've been using Shout for years. My mom used it. I use it. I buy it in bulk as well in the bigger container, and I just refilled this. But I got the OxyClean, and I had just sprayed a little Shout on the stain. And then I thought, you know what? Now I'll dump my OxyClean on it. So I dumped my OxyClean on it just a little bit. I sprayed the Shout on top of the OxyClean. Well, I started to feel it get really warm. So obviously that's a reaction. I made sure I spread it in really good, really rubbed it in, and then I closed it up, balled it up, and I let it sit for just a little bit. It might have been 24 hours. I'll let that particular blanket sit. Then I opened it back up, sprayed more Shout on it, put it in the washer. Lo and behold, it came out. It didn't smell at all. It smelled wonderful, and it was saved. So I've started doing that on everything. Sometimes I don't let it sit for a long time, but if it's a really bad stain like rust or blood or something like that, I'll let it sit 24 hours. I've also I'll take OxyClean and put it in a tub of water, and I'll let the item sit in that tub of water and then follow through with my normal, how I wash it with OxyClean and Shout, how I'm like getting the stains out. But that's what I do to get my stains out. And there is hardly not anything. My girls will call me and say, Mama, so-and-so got this in their clothes. What can I do? And I've turned them all onto this too. So we are a family of OxyClean and Shout, and we use it, and it really works. And no, this is not sponsored. I wish it was, but it's not. But this is just really good. And yes, it has chemicals in it. Unfortunately, our whole world is full of chemicals, and I just feel like you can try to avoid things, but you're going to still be exposed. And my family has used this stuff for years, and we're still living and still breathing. We don't have an increased risk of, we don't have cancer in our family or anything like that. Although I'm sure that these things can cause it. But my thing is, do what is easiest on you and what really works and what you know is going to work. And for me, this is what works. So no shade at no one who who doesn't do that. And there are a lot of people that be like, oh, I'm not putting all those chemicals on my people's clothes. I wash my stuff in hot, and I wash it really, really well, and I've not had an issue. And we have some kids with really sensitive skin and asthma. We still haven't had an issue to date. And I've been using the stuff for years. I've been married for 27 years and doing laundry for 27 years. So that's pretty much it. That is my laundry routine, and that is my big thing with the shout and the spray and the shout and the OxyClean. So if you try it, if you like it, let me know what you think. Or if you already do it, let me know. Or you may even have some tips that I don't know about. Share those down in the comments, or hop over on the community tab and let's talk about it. So thank you guys for watching. Next week, I'll be back to my normal content. We're going to go through my pantry. We're going to shop from my pantry because I have just a little bit left in our grocery budget, which I am still going to have to go get some groceries. I'll take you guys along for that. But the rest of the time, we're going to be shopping in my pantry. I'm going to talk a little bit about menu planning and budget planning, and I'll be preparing for my next big shopping trip, which is Sam's and Aldi and Walmart, and that'll probably be, I think, a week after next, but we're going to start preparing for it next week. I'll share that with you guys. So I hope you all have a really good weekend if you're watching this on the day this is posted, and if not, whatever day you're having, I hope it's good. Be blessed. Thank you for being here. Thank you to my subscribers, the new subscribers, and everybody that follows me on social media. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And if you're not subscribed but you watch my videos, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe and share my channel, share my videos, and like the videos if you watch it and if you do like it. But of course, if you don't like it, you don't have to like it. But if you do, please hit that thumbs up. It really helps me in the algorithm, and I'm trying to do this so I can help my family a little bit and do some things that we would like to do. I just feel like by sharing what I have to share, that's a good avenue for me to be able to do that and still be able to be home with my children and do the things I need to do here. But anyway, I will catch you guys in the next one. See you then.